Good morning, everyone. It's still morning, I think, for another like 5 minutes. So by the end of this video, it'll be afternoon. Um, haven't done a video in a good minute, but I did kind of tease you guys with the last video about my cats. But first, just a little update on life and things right now. Still driving a concrete truck. It is awesome. It's been a lot of fun. It's been very challenging. Um, the hardest part has been showing up on time. For me, it's been. I used to enjoy mornings, and I still do. Back in the day, before truck driving, before YouTube, any of this, I used to work in construction. I was used to being up and being at places at 6 and 7 in the morning, and truck driving has really kind of thrown me for a loop. And I've always been hard to adjust to time changes. My parents, even when I was in elementary school growing up, I don't think mom would remind me that they wouldn't let my I pretty much stayed on a school schedule year round. I was able to like flex, I think, an hour. So mom, correct me if I'm wrong, please. In the comments, everybody knows that I'm not giving good information. Like I've been, adapting to different times has always been hard. So trying to adapting to get it up early, it's been a challenge because I'm so used to my nightly routine. Getting home late from truck driving. When I worked at Quickway, watch a little bit of TV, and by a little bit, I do truly mean like an hour. No, not that much. But other than that, when I can show up on time, it's the greatest job ever. It's a fun challenge. As far as from a financial standpoint, it's good. I'm at the lowest level I'm gonna be. I get my first pay raise in a week, and then 2 months after that, I get another pay raise, pending a conversation with the boss. But right now, at my lowest pay that I'm getting, I'm working between 40 to 50 hours a week, whereas at Quickway I was working close to about 70, and my take-home money is about $50 a week less than what Quickway was. It's been just so weird to look at my paycheck stubs because Quickway would brag about how much they pay their drivers, and right away when I started, it's like, yeah, you don't pay your drivers that much. And now, driving a concrete truck, working way fewer hours, and I'm making almost the same amount of money, give or take, $50 to $100 a week, depending. It's like, wow, when I get my first couple pay raises, I'll be making more money and working fewer hours, which is a good thing to do. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, it's been a fun challenge. Just learning, the ins and outs of a mixer, concrete, different types of concrete, different blends, mixtures of it. When they load me, put all the material into the truck, my dispatcher will load us pretty dry. We can request that he adds water right then and there. We have to measure the slump, which is basically how wet the concrete is. And there's a gauge in the truck to help us with that. It's a gauge, but like different kinds. You want to put more water in because as you travel to the job, you're going to lose some. And in the truck, we only carry 200 gallons with us. And I know that sounds like a lot, but you go through that 200 gallons pretty quick. For me, when I hose down my truck afterwards to get all the loose concrete and rock out, and I'm talking like just to shoot, not inside the drum at all. I'll use 50 gallons. It is my ideal. 50 to 60 gallons is ideal. My trainer said I shouldn't need any more than 30, but I mean, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I might need to try to observe others, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. I have no idea. I've ran out of water twice already. Once while I was in training, so I didn't feel too bad because that kind of falls on my trainer. I feel like. But then if you run out of water with concrete, it then just settles onto the chute or up in the forget what it's called. Not the hopper. Hopper's way up here where all the ingredients fall into. I forget what it's called. But anyway, when you deal with dried concrete, then you gotta take a hammer to it, knock it loose. I'd rather use a hose and hose down wet concrete than use a hammer. That's just me. But it's been fun going to navigating job sites. Basically, not running over people, tools, or septic tanks. And obviously running over anything like a mailbox. it's been fun. It's been awesome. For the first time in a long time, I enjoy work. Um, like it's almost not even work, if that makes sense. A very good change, for sure. So that's what's going on with me. I will now talk about the cats. All right, cat number one. This is Ben. Ben's a good boy. So I got Ben. Okay, so what happened was with the old cat, she ran away, never came back, and initially I basically told everyone like never having a cat again, you know, and that was just more of like an emotional thing. And then maybe about a month later, I said something to the effect of maybe I will try cats again, but I'd have to have it as a kitten, and that's Jerry, by the way. So Ben and Jerry. Jerry's the black one. So I don't know if I ever mentioned it in my videos. I'm sure I did, but we had some stray cats roaming around, and my neighbor, bless her heart, started feeding them, which, I mean, you know, her choice to make. But I mean, at least with me, just the way I think, it's like cool. You're gonna feed them. They're gonna reproduce. That's gonna create more mouths to feed. So, I mean, at least me, I would never have started feeding them. I would have just taken the first one right to the shelter and been done with it. But to teach their own, you know, there's no right or wrong choice in this match, just, you know, personal preference. So she started feeding them. First cat had a cat, more cats had cats, and yeah. So the initial cat that started the whole thing, these are her grandbabies. She had her first litter last summer. These ones were born in the spring. So yeah, Ben, when my neighbor got him, it was their mom. They're both brothers. They share a mom, different dad, obviously. Sorry, I have all the details in my head. I'm just trying to make sure they come out in the right order. When she brought the cats out, there were three of them. My neighbor was able to get Ben, who was basically just laying there, and not moving. Jerry and their other sibling just were playing around basically on Ben. So my neighbor was able to grab Ben and grab their sibling. Was not able to grab Jerry at that time. Hi, Jerry. So my neighbor grabs Ben and sees that he's alive, but he's sick. He was diagnosed with an upper respiratory infection, and then he had like a big hole in his neck where some animal had crawled in there and tried to set up shop. But when I went to the vet, that whatever was in there had left. So they gave me medication. I kept Ben on that medication regularly. When I was working for Quickway at the time, so when I'd be gone for a night or two, my neighbor would take care of Ben, and he healed up almost right away. Literally after 3-4 days on the medication, signs of the respiratory infection were all but gone, but still kept giving him his medication anyway. My neighbor got their sibling and passed it off to one of her friends, and that left Jerry alone underneath a shed a couple doors down. We believe that Jerry was neglected quite a bit, with that mama cat losing two of her kittens so quickly. We didn't see Jerry again for quite a while. My neighbor eventually started calling the shelter and getting rid of the cats. And then, which includes their mom, Ben and Jerry's mom. And then after that, my neighbor was able to lure Jerry out with food. She finally was able to lure Jerry out and get him. She held him for a day. This is July 4th, I believe. I left July 5th or 6th. I left July 5th to Mississippi. I came back on the 6th. I came back to my neighbor saying that they got the black cat. That's how Jerry was known at the time. So as soon as I got home, my neighbor asked me if I wanted him as a playmate for Ben, because I'm gone sometimes, so it gives Ben someone to play with while I'm away. I reluctantly said yes. 'Cause I'm trying to, save money. Owning cats is expensive, but I understand, giving Ben a playmate. They did not get along for about the first night. They stayed away from each other, or the first evening rather. But then when I woke up the next morning, they were best friends and have been best friends ever since. Ben can still do basically everything on his own. Jerry would be completely lost without Ben, I believe. Jerry, he's an inbred. His dad and his uncle are the same cat based on fur color. His uncle, at least, his mom's brother, was completely black. And his mom's brother was all around his mom when she was in heat. So, connect the dots. Ben's dad is a cat down at the end of the street that got their mom pregnant the first time. Ben's dad lives down the street, like 6 or 7 doors down. I don't know that cat or the parents. Well, I've just seen the cat roaming around. So that's how I got the cats. They warmed up to each other. Ben has always been nice and warm with me. Jerry, he made phenomenal progress. Within about the first week, he would cuddle up with me at the right situation. But they're both daddy's boys. I've been doing what I can to take care of them, going to the vet, getting their shots. They're actually due to go back to the vet. Any day to get a booster shot and then make an appointment to get themselves fixed. Once they're fixed, if at that point, if they want to venture outside, they will be welcome to do that. There is a couple of female cats on the street, and I don't want to have to go through or put someone else through what my neighbor went through taking care of a whole bunch of cats. So they're going to get fixed, and at that point, then it's kind of, they're on their own. I got them on a healthcare plan through a Banfield Pet Hospital at PetSmart, which it looks like it's going to end up saving me a lot of money to get them taken care of well with vaccines and everything their first year in life. And also, since they've been relatively healthy, I will not be purchasing the plan moving forward. I'll just pay for things as they come up. So yeah, that's Ben. He's a sweetheart. There's Jerry. Jerry's also a sweetheart when he wants to be. But those are the cats. Now, as far as how the cats got their names, sorry, I've had an old napkin. I've been wanting to throw it away when I was filming that whole last part. How they got their names. So when I first got Ben, I was thinking of names, and I had pretty much made up my mind it was gonna be Dude. I mean, why not? My neighbor gives me that look. She's a mom. She's like a year and a half, 2 years older than I am. And she gives me that mom look of, you did not just say that. No. And I can't help but just laugh whenever she gives me that look. It's pretty funny. And she said that name was too California for a Tennessee cat. So, whatever. I decided, out of the blue, no idea why, I decided to name him Ben. And I thought he'd be the only cat I would have. And then someday I'll get a dog. And I will name the dog Jerry. And which is funny because I don't eat Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Never have. I'm not against it. I just never have. So kind of by default, when we got Jerry, the black one, it's like, okay, Ben and Jerry are my cat's names. So I have no idea where the idea for Ben came from. But we did. They both answer to their names respectively. Pretty good, which I like. And something just fell on my truck. That's nice. Nothing exciting, though. We have these walnut deals that grow in the trees. And when they drop, it goes clank. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. But it doesn't leave a dent in my truck, thankfully. But it's still loud. So yeah, that's how the cats got their names. That's how I got the cats. And that's what's going on with me. NASCAR race is about to start. They're at the Charlotte Road Course. I'm super duper excited to be watching. Some of you guys' video will be uploading while the race is going on, so you may potentially be watching the race and see notification for this video at the same time. So, yeah. Oh, as far as NASCAR goes, I'm about 99% sure I'm going to go to Talladega. It's only 3.5 hours away from me. So, and it's on Sunday, which is a guaranteed day off. So as long as the weather looks good, I'm gonna make a long day trip out of it. Wake up early as if I'm going to work, drive down to the track, go to the race, drive home after, and hopefully I get home before the sun goes down. That's all I care about. So that'll be fun. Never been to a super speedway race. I've not been to a short track or a road course. I've only been to intermediate track races. So I'm excited to do that, weather permitting, of course. But anyway, that's it. Talk to you guys later.